up voting Conservative because I didn't really believe in the Labour's policies that much. I kind of thought they were pulling their policies out of the air and not really backing up where they were going to get money to do stuff from.
Well, 2/3 of young voters turned out for Labour in this election, but it wasn't enough to give the party an all-out win. Bucking the Liberal trend are people like Eleanor Job and 18-year-old student Ali Fazl, who joins me now. He campaigned for the Conservative Party in the city of Birmingham. Ali, good to talk to you. Are you disappointed?
And you? Well, no, not necessarily. Sure, we lost the majority. We didn't do as well as we expected to. But no, I'm not disappointed because the Prime Minister still has a mandate. We could have done a much better job, but we are where we are, and we have to make the best of the situation we're in.
Most of the young people your age and a little bit older, all the way up to, say, 30 or so, voted Labour. They came out in record numbers. They wanted change, and they saw Jreemy Corbyn as their man and the Labour Party's platform as their reason. What makes you so different? Why did you choose the Conservatives?
Sure. Well, I think what you'll find when you actually go to the doorstep and on the streets is that there are vast numbers of young people who actually back the Conservatives too. This narrative that it's just the Labour Party that young people back is not the case at all. If you look at what the Conservatives have achieved over the last 7 years, the economic successes of the Conservative government...
No, I don't want to patronise you, but I'm looking at the data. I'm not talking about people on the streets. I'm talking about the actual data of the election. Young people voted for Labour, right?
No doubt, Jreemy Corbyn has done a brilliant job by getting young people out and actually getting them much more involved in politics. But if you're asking me why I'm a Conservative as a young person, it's about values. It's about my values of aspiration, my values of ambition, my values of wanting to live in a meritocratic society where it's your hard work, your ambition, your talent and your merit that gets you where you want to be. It's about your ambition, not the state's ambition for you. And if you look at what the Conservatives have achieved over the last 7 years, we've seen record levels of people in work. These are young people also getting into work. We've seen record levels of people who are now who are in employment, but also if you look at the level of people who are now out of paying taxes altogether, that is the personal allowance which is going up under this Conservative government. That's 4,000 more than it was under a Labour government. Right. That means people from lower income backgrounds do not have to pay as much tax under this government because that is a Conservative commitment to ensure that we are looking after the people right at the bottom of the income scale. Okay. These are values that I'm very proud and that's why I'm a Conservative, yeah. Right,
so you're saying, Conservative values, you're saying meritocracy, you're saying they'd handle the economy better. There are a lot of people, and I'm sure you've heard this before, who'll say, hey, when you're 18, you have to be a Liberal, or in your 20s, even if you end up becoming a Conservative, even if you end up becoming a Conservative leader of the party, everybody's a Liberal when they're young. Why are you so different?
Well, I wouldn't say that's the case. I mean, there are massive groups of Conservative young people. We have, even in my school, we have a number of Conservatives, young Conservatives. It is not rare at all the way you make it seem. Sure, the data shows that there are the vast number of young people were voting Labour. But I think what really got people out there voting for Jreemy Corbyn and voting for the Labour Party with regards to young people was some of his pledges like free tuition fees or scrapping the debts that so many young people now see when they leave university.
And that's a good thing, right?
Those policies are... Well, no, because those policies are simply economically unsustainable. When tuition fees was free, we saw only 3% of students from doing A-levels going into university. That figure has now gone up by around by around 8, or it was 5%, and that figure has now gone up by around 8 times. So now we see around 41% of students who now do A-levels going on to go into university. To claim that we can still have free education when we have so many more young people going into university, that is not the case. Right. It is simply economically unsustainable.
No, and that's a classical Conservative argument. Fair enough. No, fair enough. You're saying who's going to pay for it?
No, can I just finish? One second. Because not only that, but also the Labour Party talk about social mobility. The fact that if we scrap tuition fees, then we'll see a lot more young people actually going to university. If you look at Scotland, where tuition fees is actually free for locals, there is no such thing as tuition fees for locals, you see 20% fewer working class children actually going to university.
Okay.
So to claim that by scrapping tuition fees, we're allowing more students from lower incomes to go to university, that simply isn't the case. But
Okay.
this is Labour's style.
I want to jump in here. Allow me to jump in so I can get you one get in one final
The bottom line is
question
there is no silver bullet.
Sure, I want to get in one final question here, and you make a fair argument there. The Liberals, Labour, have the narrative, they have the charisma, they feel Jreemy Corbyn listens to them, he listens to the street, whereas, the Tories are kind of disconnected and elitist and so on. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant. This is how a lot of young people feel. So my question to you as a young Conservative, how are you going to try to convince other young people to come over to your side?
Well, I think you've raised a really, really fair point, because a lot of young people feel disconnected not only from politics, but from the Conservative Party as well. And that is, there's no hiding away from that fact. But I think it's about re-engaging young people. And I think what you have already seen through this election is not all young people blindly following Labour Party politics. That is not the case. And I think trying to engage more young people through discussions, through forums, through the kind of thing we do at my college, which is discussion circles around politics, coming together, actually talking about policies, scrutinising manifestos to a level where young people can actually understand the nitty-gritty points. Because that's the only way you can actually get young people involved, understanding the actual policies, the philosophy behind those policies, and actually allowing them to understand where they sit on the political spectrum.
Ali Fazal, I have a feeling I'm going to be talking to you a lot in the coming years. Let's see if that happens. It's been good to talk to you. Thanks so much.